Okay, I'm gonna show you a little bit of this interview on CNN with Ice Cube. He was interviewed by this guy, Chris. And check out this video and tell me what you think and leave comments. And thanks for watching and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.
Now we see a shift. Now he wants to work with President Trump. Here's what the president had to say most recently about Black Lives Matter.
The first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, I said, that's such a terrible term because it's such a racist term. It's a term that sows division between blacks and whites and everybody else, and it's a very bad term for blacks. But they were very angry. It's a Marxist organization.
With all that going on and how the president continues to speak about there being no systemic inequality, it's no shock that Ice Cube got some heat for deciding to work with the Trump administration. He wants to deal with it. I want to understand it. So should you. So here is Ice Cube on Prime Time. Thank you for taking the opportunity, brother. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Chris, your lead-ins are a little misleading.
How so?
Well, the Platinum Plan is not my plan. I came up with the contract with Black America, and I didn't run to go work with any campaign. Both campaigns contacted me. Both campaigns wanted to talk to me about the contract with Black America. One campaign said, we love what you have, but let's really dig into it after the election. And one campaign said, we love what you have. Do you mind talking to us about it? And that's what I did. So I didn't run to nobody. And so that was real misleading to me.
Well, I didn't say you ran to anybody. I said that you had taken a pivot.
Well, you said I ran over to the Trump team instead of the Biden team. That's just not true.
Man, I do not watch CNN because they would twist and turn, try to make people go against each other. And I'm pretty sure they're going to twist what Plies, the rapper, was saying. He never mentioned Ice Cube name, not once. I'm going to show you a little bit of his clip.
Hey, it ain't nothing worse than a person, in my opinion, who's trying to get you to believe that they fighting for you when the whole while they just fighting for them. It ain't nothing worse than that. And it happen all the time. It's nothing worse than a person who's trying to make you believe that they fighting for you when the whole time they just fighting for them. And I'm cool with whoever just fighting for them. Just say you just fighting for you, though. Like, stop trying to play this game like you really trying to stand for this, or you really, this is what you really represent. When you, the whole while, only moving with an agenda. You can't be trying to do what's best for me if you ain't asked me what's best for me. How you trying to do what's best for me if you trying to speak on behalf of me when you don't even know what my needs is? You can't be trying to do what's best for me.
He could have been talking about Ice Cube. He could have been talking about President Trump or Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. I don't know who he was talking about, but he never mention anyone's name. So people gonna put in what they want to put in. They're gonna try to turn it. They probably trying to, eventually they're gonna try to get Ice Cube and Plies to fight amongst each other. It's all a political game.
Well, but you are working with the Trump team instead of the Biden team, and people are giving you heat for it. What do you say to them?
Well, I'm willing to work with both teams, but I'm just working with whoever is willing to work with me. So the Trump campaign came to me and asked me to explain to them some of the contract with Black America. That's what I did. I'm not playing no more of these games, these political games. We're not part of a team. We have very broad problems, especially the wealth gap in this country when it comes to Black Americans. So I'm going to whoever's in power, and I'm going to speak to them about our problems specifically. I'm not going there talking about minorities. I'm not going there talking about people of color or diversity or none of that stuff. I'm going there for Black Americans the ones who are the descendants of slaves. And that's what I'm going to talk to anybody who's in power with that. So if anybody got a problem with that, it seems like a personal problem.
Well, here's the problem, and it is very personal, as you know, for a lot of people of color, because they'll say, well, why would you pick Trump when he says there's no such thing as systemic inequality?
I'm not picking nobody. He's the president.
But why do you think he'd want to do something for the community when he says there's no such thing as systemic inequality?
I don't know what he want to do. I just know what the man said. I know what he said to the country. I've never met Donald Trump. So I don't know what he's going to do. I just know what he said he was going to do. So both of them have a plan. Both of them say they're going to do something. And who knows what's really going to happen after November 3rd. Nobody knows from each side. We're all hoping that candidates keep their campaign promises. So that's just it.
So do you really think that Donald Trump can be trusted as much as you could trust Joe Biden?
I don't think I'm not trusting any of them. I'm just going by action. That's all I'm going by. I'm not going by words. I'm not going by rhetoric, not going by media spin, not going by none of that. You know, I'm not on nobody's team. I'm not on Team Blue, not on Team Red.
So then I have that wrong.
I'm an independent person, and I believe that's what black people need to do is become independent, and we need to get something for our vote. You know, that may not happen, but it's gonna happen. It's got to happen.
It's got to happen. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Look, if I had brought you here to fight with you, you would have known it.
I believe it's a bipartisan problem when it comes to the issues, when it comes to blacks in America and what's going on. It's not a Democrat problem. It's not for them to solve. It's not for the Republicans to solve. It's for both of them to solve. They do it when it comes to debt ceiling. They do it when it comes to getting us in wars. They seem to come together when it's something that really affects America. And I don't think nothing affects America more than the situation that black Americans find ourselves in. This country is coming apart at the seams, and it's not going to come together after January 3rd, no matter who's the president, unless we deal with this wealth gap.
It doesn't give you concern that the president has handled police violence the way he has in terms of his commitment to work on any of the issues that you think are important?
We've been dealing with police violence in this country from day one. So police violence is just part of our life here. So, you know, the thing is this, once we get some capital, we'll be treated better. This is a capitalistic society.
True.
And if you ain't got no money, you see how people get treated on the streets when they ain't got no money.
Not just money, wealth. Wealth. You got to be able to build up wealth within the community.
Yeah, you know, to put it in greater terms. But, you know, at the bottom line is, you know, dollars bring dignity. And so everybody in America knows that. When you got a little more money, they treat you a little better. So we need to close this wealth gap. You know, you got people, you know, families making $120,000 or worth $120,000, and you got black families worth $200. It's just an enormous wealth gap that keeps growing. It's not getting smaller. Do the research, and you'll see this is the problem in America. It's because black people have no capital. We own half of a point when it comes to all the wealth in America. Half of a point. 13.5% people living off half of a point. We cannot survive in America another 100 years living like this.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, turn on your notifications, and share this video. Also leave comments. Thanks for watching Welding and Stuff.